anxiety and depression among their students. Addressing these growing needs and ensuring students feel connected and supported is crucial to their overall well-being and academic achievement. That is why I'm excited to partner with Dean Clay and his team at the University of Iowa College of Education on the new Iowa Center for School Mental Health. Dean Clay is on a well-deserved vacation and couldn't be here today, but his leadership and passion for advocating education and supporting the mental health needs of Iowa students have been important in getting to where we are today. This innovative partnership leverages our work at the Iowa Department of Education to support social, emotional, behavioral health through a multi-tiered system of supports, and the University of Iowa College of Education's Baker Teacher Leader Center to grow Iowa's mental health provider workforce and ensure our educators have the support, training, and resources they need to meet the current and future behavioral and mental health needs of Iowa students. That is why we are allocating $20 million in federal relief funds the department received to support this work and expand the center's services across the state, especially in rural communities. Starting this summer, all Iowa schools, large and small, rural and urban, will benefit from ongoing research, best practices, and evidence-based supports. This will include crisis response services, face-to-face and online training and coaching for student teachers and practicing teachers, strategic planning support, needs assessment and program evaluation of social emotional learning, and positive behavioral interventions and supports implementation. We look forward to sharing more information and showcasing these services during the Iowa Best Schools Summit that will be held November 1st through 3rd in Des Moines at the Iowa Events Center. BEST stands for Behavioral, Equitable, Social, Emotional, and Trauma-Informed. Supports that were necessary prior to our experience with COVID-19, but have become critical now. More information on this conference will be available in the coming weeks. We are also partnering with Iowa school districts to pilot innovative approaches to addressing some of our other educational priorities to move us forward. Some of those include early childhood education and improving early literacy, developing strategies to accelerate learning, expanding work-based learning opportunities, and closing achievement gaps for all students. We are currently piloting projects with 2 school districts whose superintendents are here today. Going forward, we hope to partner with more districts to pilot innovative strategies that we can scale statewide to help ensure all Iowa students are future ready. By implementing best practices, focusing on what is working, and identifying the resources needed to keep us moving forward, we can create an even better education system and a better future for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ann, and I am really grateful to you for your leadership, and of course Dean Clay of the University of Iowa College of Education, truly for your commitment to the mental well-being of Iowa students. As Director Lebo mentioned, the Department of Education is also working with the local school districts represented here today to launch 2 separate innovative pilot programs to promote early childhood education while unleashing Iowa's existing workforce. So first, with Waterloo, the Department of Education will provide $3 million in funding to the school district to implement a program that's designed to close the achievement gap in literacy and math among students who are struggling in those subjects. The simple truth is that in Iowa, we're not where we need to be when it comes to our literacy and math proficiency. The program will give students an opportunity to overcome their challenges and succeed in their education while providing a template for making similar improvements across the entire state. So to tell us more about it is Superintendent Lindeman.
Thank you, Governor Reynolds. Prior to COVID-19, Waterloo Schools was focusing on a targeted plan to close the achievement gap for our students of color. While we continued this focus during the pandemic, COVID-19 exacerbated this gap and laid bare the inequities within our school district. As we look to next year to prepare to tackle this challenge, we had the opportunity to secure additional funding to bolster our efforts. A longstanding issue in education is this gap in academic achievement with minority and non-minority students. Sometimes we attempt to explain achievement gaps as largely due to socioeconomic disparities, But the truth is that even when a district controls for poverty and other differentiating factors, our white students still outperform our Black and brown students. These gaps are pervasive and they are persistent, and we must fully commit ourselves to changing these outcomes. Research has shown that there are indeed methods that have proven effective in mitigating these gaps. With broad-based support from the state and the national experts and consultants, we will be looking beyond our policies, procedures, and practices to address the experiences that our Black and brown students have attending our schools. We are committing to an action-based approach to achieve immediate and measurable results. Our achievement goals have perhaps never been more important. While so many students and teachers worked so hard this past year to get back on track academically after the disruption of the COVID shutdown, we know that we cannot make all the gains we want to see for all of our students without thinking and acting differently about this challenge. Through this particular initiative, we will work to raise the achievement of all students with a special focus on accelerating growth for our students of color. By partnering with the Iowa Department of Education, we are proud to have a chance to offer our teachers innovative ways to boost achievement for our Black and brown students, modeled after proven best practices. We are so grateful for this opportunity to change the face of education and the achievement levels for our students of color. We are grateful for the support from the Governor's Office and from the Iowa Department of Education. Thank you for supporting us in this effort.
Thank you, Jane, and I appreciate all that you're doing and your willingness to step up and really lean into this issue, so thank you so much. And that brings us to the project with the Council Bluffs School District, and with $7 million, again from the Department of Education, Council Bluffs will implement an innovative program that blends child care and early learning models. It leverages public-private partnerships and serves as a demonstration site for other Iowa schools. By expanding care and preschool services for children through 3 years of age, it will prepare them to approach their education with confidence for years to come, all while helping parents access the affordable child care that they so desperately need. So Superintendent Morello, we're anxious to hear about your project.
Thank you, Governor Reynolds. What an exciting day for education in Iowa and for the Council Bluffs community. We are so fortunate to have the confidence of Governor Reynolds as we prepare to partner with our Iowa Department of Education to expand preschool opportunities, including in-school child care for infants and toddlers in the Council Bluffs Community School District. Together, we can demonstrate the effectiveness of high-quality early childhood programming on kindergarten readiness of our young learners. We are pleased to participate in the exploratory project and to be a successful model program that can be replicated in other Iowa school districts. The funding invested in this project will make it possible to expand preschool programming and to introduce in-school child care for infants and toddlers ages 0 to 3. We will use a portion of the dedicated funding to assist with the construction of the Early Learning Center on what is now a vacant lot in the center of our school district. With the expanded preschool and new child care opportunities, nearly 200 more students every year will be better prepared to learn to their fullest and be kindergarten ready. Our goal has been to provide universal access to preschool for all of our children. With the investment from the state and with the partnership of the Council Bluffs Schools Foundation to secure additional private donations, we are eager to proceed with making the dream a reality. The goal is to open the center in the fall of 2023 to meet a significant need in our community. On behalf of the Council Bluffs Community School District, I want to thank you, Governor Reynolds, for recognizing the importance and the positive impact of high-quality early childhood education. You will, of course, have an open invitation to visit the Early Learning Center, to observe learning in action, and to see the smiling faces of the children for whom you are making this investment today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Again, I appreciate you also leading in and leading and helping our young kids be successful. So, programs like this require a commitment and a real vision, and we are fortunate to have two superintendents in Waterloo and Council Bluffs who have proven that they definitely have both. Both of the districts will be working with national experts and evaluating ways that we can expand their programs potentially, again, across the entire state. So I'm really excited to see the outcomes, and I just wish the best of luck to both of you on your projects. So real quick as I wrap up, while we are on the topic of child care, I also want to reinforce how critical access to affordable quality child care is to sustaining our economic recovery from COVID-19, and supporting working parents and overcoming Iowa's workforce shortage is always top of mind. So today I'm pleased to announce that additional support for child care providers across the state, including increased child care assistance rates, stipends to accelerate COVID recovery efforts, and enhancements to programs promoting educational opportunities for child care providers and staff. The Department of Human Services will be expanding scholarship opportunities statewide to support the early childhood workforce, and that's offered through the TEACH, TEACH, and Child Care Wages Program. Right now, we're currently in just a few counties, and we're hoping to take that statewide. And the scholarships support child care workers' pursuit of higher education, and it's been shown to reduce turnover. So we know it works. It's just been hard to expand it, so this will allow us to do that with some of the federal funding. In addition, the Department of Human Services is enabling providers that receive federal assistance to collect more through an updated market rate survey and extending monthly stipends to child care providers that have been affected by the pandemic, and we'll be able to extend that through the end of August. While the Child Care Task Force continues its important work, these interim steps to support child care providers across the state will in turn better support the children and families that they serve. So I look forward to the work of the task force culminating later this month, so that we can collectively consider and develop policy recommendations in advance of the 2022 legislative session. And with that, we'll go ahead and we'll take questions first on the topic today.
Once the federal funds run out, will you recommend state tax dollars be used on these initiatives?
So that's kind of the beauty of the pilot projects and having some of the funds come in as we're looking at all of the options for short-term and long-term education or childcare, whatever that may be. This will give us an option working with national experts to see how those evidence-based programs work and where we can strategically place our funding, to get the best results. And so that's why I'm so appreciative of them stepping up and looking at some of this evidence-based strategies, so that we can be very strategic in funding those initiatives to get the outcomes that we're hoping for. And this is a great opportunity to do that, and I think it really is a good use of some of the Department of Education funds that are coming into the state. So we'll evaluate, but that's the whole purpose of doing that, to kind of test run and see where we can get the biggest value, and most importantly, have the biggest impact on our kids in this state, so that we set them up to be successful.
So on the Center for School Mental Health, is that something that will be somewhat integrated with, the children's mental health system that's obviously still being grown in the state, or will it be something completely?
Well, I think it all ties together. I mean, we want to make sure that we have that continuum of care. And so as we're trying to get the services to children sooner rather than later, so that we make sure that they're healthy and they have every opportunity to be successful in school, the center now will help take a look at some of the tools and provide the resources to the teachers to ensure that they continue to get those strategies. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
I think what I could add to both is that part of the reason why we chose these projects is that they're existing work that's already happening, and we're using the funds to boost it, to help leverage greater capacity. So we're not starting from scratch. So the potential of what the Mental Health Center has to offer is really going to be beyond just what the department is offering for support. Their clinical and research support, the resources that the university bring to the table, are really going to be important in making this work sustainable in the future. It's to reach all children. So I think that's the importance of this work and why we're trying to use some of these funds to prioritize what's already in place so that everybody can benefit in the future.
Well, that's a really good point. I mean, so we had put some funding into helping teachers get the skills and knowledge that they need to help serve the kids. So that's a really good point.
Just to clarify, is the 20 million for the center separate from the 3 million and 7 million to
Yep.
those Waterloo?
Yep,
Okay, correct.
yep.
How soon will that new center be open?
So we've sort of been waiting for this announcement. I mean, the work has been in progress, so it will be in effect immediately, and resources will be available starting the summer and implementation this school year. So we expect that to grow and have more details at the summit. This is when I wish Dean Clay was here to really brag about the work that they've done, but their capacity is ready now.
And we'll keep you updated as we move through. So, you know, we want to report out on the progress that's taking place because we're really excited about it. Any other questions on topic? Well, now I'm going to make you go get to work, okay? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Governor, on those at-home test Iowa kits,
Yep.
are those ready? And if there's possibly another surge, would we still have the infrastructure to get Test Iowa back up and running again?
Yep, so we finalized the contract yesterday, so they will be in place as we phase out Test Iowa, which our numbers are just down to nothing right now. We'll be able to transition to collaborating with the State Hygienic Lab to make those tests available. So, they'll be available for anyone, and there's no preconceived conditions that qualify, and so we're just moving to a better system to implement with the numbers that are going down with the Test Iowa. It doesn't make sense to keep that infrastructure in place for the minimal amount of use, but we wanted to make sure that Iowans still had the options, and so we'll be able to adjust as necessary.
Governor, vaccination rates are going down. What steps are you guys taking to continuing encouraging people to get the vaccine
Mhm.
and also encouraging people to get their second dose?
Yeah, so they're still moving. It's just they've really slowed down. But I'm proud to say in Iowa, 59% of Iowans 18 and older are fully vaccinated. I think it's about 63% that 18 and older that have received at least one dose. So those numbers are closing. So I think you're starting to see people follow through and get the second dose. We're just going to continue to keep reminding people if they haven't got a vaccination or got a vaccine, we still encourage them to do that. And then we're trying to be where people are. So we're continuing to look for ways that we can get out into communities, work with our partners, and just make sure that Iowans know that they're available, through their clinics, through their doctor, or at different venues as well. So, but we're doing well. I'm really proud of where we're at, and we're just going to continue to talk about the importance of it.
Governor, earlier this week you met with the mayor of Davenport
Yep.
to discuss issues in the city. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we actually had a meeting yesterday, and it was a really good meeting, but there's been a lot of conversations, not only between myself and the mayor, but between Commissioner Baines and the chief and their team, and so we were able to talk about ways that we could help facilitate and coordinate with them to address some of the increase in crime that they're seeing in Davenport. So whether it's technology or whether it's more troopers on the ground and visible, there's a lot of different things that we're working on that we can actually just help supplement their team to address some of the uptick that they're seeing. So it's a great partnership, it's a great collaboration, and I will look forward to hopefully seeing some good results from it.
Governor, the Supreme Court, the Iowa Supreme Court ruled previously that a 72-hour waiting period on abortions was unconstitutional. I'm curious how you think your appeal of the 24-hour waiting period will go different.
Well, I absolutely don't agree with the decision, and that's what the process is for, and so we will be appealing that decision, and we're pretty confident that we can get the outcome that we're looking for.
Thanks, everyone.
Governor,
Appreciate it.